Hey, it's Andy's Free Guitar Chart Videos. Welcome to my YouTube subscribers and my Facebook group friends. And anyone who's found this video on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you like the video and the charts. And follow the instructions below the video to access the Andy's Free Guitar Chart Videos Facebook group page, where you can view the videos in one long segment. Today it's only going to be a short lesson, kind of part 2 from last night. So what we've got here, let's cut to the chase, is chart 379, Dorian Blues with G string cutouts. Now that's just a nickname for what we're doing. There's obviously a more a nomenclature perhaps that says what's the Dorian Blues. It's actually playing in the Blues Magic Key, which is playing in the 4th of the 4th. Why? Well, that's just going around the circle of fourths. So if we're playing in C, we're going to be playing in B flat, because it gives us the B flat and the E flat, okay, which is the flatted 3rd and the flatted 7th of that root key. Then all we have to do is add the flatted 5th. It's just an added key. And of course, if we're playing in B flat, we would want to add the E natural and the B natural. Okay, so if we're playing in C, but we want to turn that C into a Dorian, can always hit that E. All right, and we can always hit that E down here. So can always add back in those notes from the original Ionian with the Dorian overlay. So I've done a chart here to try and make this easier, because I know it's getting inherently complicated. So one thing about the blues, and one thing about any real system, is you want to apply that system to specific cases. And in this case, it's still general enough. I've taken out of this chart, I've taken out the word, the instance. I've taken the training wheels off of the B flat, the E flat, and the F, and I say it's just 1, 4, 5 now. Okay, it doesn't matter what key you're in. You could use the Blues Magic Key of C and play your blues in the key of D. So if you're doing something like, you know, so you would have this groove chord in D. Okay, and from that D, you just continue to play that C. Okay, so the question becomes, where is the 3rd blues note? Now, of course, in the blues, we can always just add 3 blues notes. We have a C here, and we can add the 3rd flat, the 5 flat, and the 7 flat. And by the way, I apologize for this loose key here, because it's going right down to the microphone. So you have to add 3 blues notes there. Alright, instead of adding 3 blues notes, we play in the key of B flat. Okay, and then we only have to add the 1, which is in between the 5 and the 6 of the B flat. Now let's look at that, or whatever the magic key is, right? So the magic key is going to be 1 whole step below, 1 scale step, which happens to be a whole step in this case, below the root key of the blues. If we're doing a root key C, the magic key is going to be B flat. If you're doing it in D, the magic key will be C. The question was, the magic key, to get that flatted 5th. Okay, so if I'm doing if I'm down tuned C here, so this is my C, E shaped C here. So starting on C, this is a low C. low cello C right down here. Okay, and here's where you're tuned. You know, back to basics here. Alright, let's make sure the piano's loud enough. So we got the fans going here. So the trick and the reason we have this whole chart is because the Magic Key has in between the 5, its 5th and its 6th, which is the 4th and the 5th of the root key, this blues note here. So this is an easy one to find because we only have one short interval here. This right here, this is your S3S. This is your stack of 3 short in your D pentatonic. Okay, now we'd want to go, but it's okay. On top of that goes a nice S3, S2L, but that's this diagram isn't designed for that. So what we have here is in between the short 5, 6, we have the blues note there. The question is, how can we play that blues note? Because if we look up here, I don't mean to take you away from there, but you should know this first. If we're looking at this thing, here's the root of the blues magic key. Now this is the blues magic key of what? Of B flat, of the 4th of the 4th. We're not doing the 4th. We're not doing the 4th of the 4th of the 4th. We're not doing the 4th of the 4th of the 4th, which would be a Phrygian, so it would be like this. Sounds almost like it's got a new kind of level, like it's starting to become major again in another dimension, you know, kind of like another direction. So that's pretty cool, but it's past funky. It's getting into something else. So we don't want to do the 4th of the 4th of the 4th. Okay, we want to just do the 4th of the 4th. All right, and that will be, let's see, we start at C, 4th is F, 4th of the 4th is B flat, that's where we're going to be playing it. 4th of the 4th of the 4th is E flat, 4th of the 4th of the 4th is A flat. That's the Phrygian. Why? Because C is the 3rd of A flat, okay? In the 4th of the 4th of the 4th, which is E flat, C would be the 6th, we'd be playing an Aeolian, it'd be like this. Okay, we talked about that last lesson. Right now we're just going to settle on down to the 4th of the 4th, which is just going to give us 2 flats, so we're just going to add 1 flat. So let's look. Here we got the root becomes the 2nd, the Dorian of the blues Dorian plus the blues note. They're all plus the blues note. The 4th becomes the 6th, and the root becomes the 5th. So over here we have our 2, 6, 5. Okay, this is where your root is, but I've colored them in the root of the magic key. Okay, so the point is that the blues note will become right here in the 5, 6. I wanted to show you this, how difficult it is to do this without knowing what you're doing, but once you know what you're doing, it's a lot easier. So I wanted to play in a cage. We'll play in a cage. Alright, well here's D. Here's a D-shaped root magic key. 5, root 3. There's our root of our magic key. So let's just scope out a big old tri-pentatonic D box here. We'll take it all the way down here. So we've got our D here. D, D. Alright, 4th of D is G, 5th of D is the A shape. Now, looking at that, what do we have here? Hold on.